Another item of adversity that the Chiefs have to deal with as they enter the slow time between the end of the offseason program and training camp, this Frank Clark arrest.
Jeez.
Second time since March on gun-related charges, and most recently, he's got an Uzi in a duffel bag that's open. I mean, first of all, if you feel compelled to have an Uzi, which is a clearly illegal weapon, but if for whatever reason you feel compelled to have an Uzi and it's in a duffel bag, just zip it shut so they don't see it when they look in. I mean, that's a simple tip. You don't have it in plain view so the cop, oh, there's an Uzi. An Uzi is a highly illegal weapon, a weapon of mass destruction. You pull that trigger and 50 people are dead. Who the hell needs an Uzi, Chris?
I have no idea, Mike. It makes no sense to me at all. It doesn't, I mean, he's a guy that has a little bit of a checkered past, certainly, but, man, he's a good football player. He does a lot of good things for their football team. Is he a superstar pass rusher, in my opinion? No. But, like, a guy that you go is that next level down from a superstar, does everything pretty well. And to me, those are the things I just don't understand. I don't. For a player like Frank Clark, you kind of got, you got everything you want right in your hand. And there he is, taking a risk with having that in the car. Why? I don't know. Where are you going with that? Listen, I'm not trying to understand anybody's life, but a Uzi, like you said, like what? Are we going to get in like a major gunfight in the neighborhood? I don't know. It just seems a little much for me.
And guys get arrested on gun charges all the time. And
yeah.
We see guilty pleas. We see reduced charges. We see slaps on the wrist for the most part. But this, to me, has a much graver feel to it because it is an Uzi. You typically only see Uzis in the movies.
Yeah.
You don't see somebody walking around with an Uzi. It is a felony. And he may be looking at jail time for this. You get a prosecutor that wants to send a message to the world that you get caught with an Uzi, you're going to do hard time. Remember what happened to Plexico Burress? He shot himself in the leg with a normal gun.
Right.
And what happened? The only person he shot was himself, and he went to jail for 2 years because of the gun laws in New York. An Uzi's illegal everywhere. And, this is what people think that those who have fame and notoriety get a pass when they find themselves in the gears of the criminal justice system.
No way.
Oftentimes prosecutors say, hey, this is a way to send the loudest message as sea to shining sea about what behavior is accepted. We're going to throw the book at this celebrity because the trial's going to get covered and the sentence is going to get covered and everybody's going to know don't mess around, even though we don't have the resources to catch everybody who messes around this way. We want to scare people into not doing it, and a high-profile prosecution like this will do it. The league's got personal conduct policy, a weapons policy, and it just feels to me like a bigger deal than any time. There was the defensive back from the Saints. He got arrested in Cleveland.
Marshawn Lattimore.
The guy who's on Marshawn Lattimore,
right.
The guy in his option year. That had a different feel to it.
Yes.
It's because it was just a gun, and was it registered? Was it stolen? Whatever. This is an Uzi. This is a big deal.
It is a big deal. It makes you wonder, Mike. Like
wonder what?
Well, I just wonder, like, if he wasn't Frank Clark and had they traded for him, has a huge salary, has a huge number that counts against the salary cap this year. The play hasn't been what they want it to be. I mean, they didn't get Frank Clark and pay him all this money to get 6 sacks. That's what he got last year. They didn't do that. Like, to me, I look at it and I just wonder with some of the stuff, they're under the microscope because of the Reed thing and all of that, to where I hear you. It does seem a little serious and all that, but I don't think anything's gonna be done to the player, at least through the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I would say, like, he'd be in danger of getting cut if he didn't have such a big dead money and such a big chunk of the salary cap this year. I would say that, but because of the situation in his contract, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I'm doing the math here real quick. He's up near $20 million if they would cut him, and he's got $18.5 million base salary this year that's guaranteed for skill, injury, and cap. They could try to find a way around that. They could try to invalidate and void the guarantee, but I think they probably just go forward and wait and see what the legal system does, wait and see what the league does, because financially their hands are tied here. And this is the deal they did when they made that trade and they signed him to that long-term contract. He had that issue in college that ended up being a problem, and it created a ton of controversy.
Yeah.
Seahawks, if you remember that, when he was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
So they knew what they knew. Look, I can't say that they reasonably should have foreseen he'd get arrested with an Uzi, but they knew when they traded for him that this is a guy who had some off-field stuff that could rear its ugly head at some point in the future. They can't say they didn't know that.
No, they've been a team that's been willing to take those chances. That is part of what Kansas City is. They've taken chances on guys who have a little bit of a checkered past, and this guy, he's no Boy Scout. That's certainly the case here. And they're kind of eating it on this one at this point right now. So we'll see. But I mean, you said it, like the legal system, guns in your car twice, and Uzi. Like I have a hard time thinking the NFL doesn't do something here, right? I mean, would you think that there's going to be a suspension at some point?
I assume there will be.
Yeah.
The question is, how long do they wait for the legal system, and how much do they do on their own? And does this rise to the level of maybe even paid leave? We've talked about it so much with Deshaun Watson. Does it become an issue for Frank Clark? We'll see how that plays out.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.